Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Niladri Mukherjee and I'm a regulated Canadian immigration consultant. I practice in Mississauga, Ontario. If you are an express entry outland aspirant in the year 2022 or maybe 2023, you will probably find this video quite useful. Back in the days, maybe a couple of years back, before COVID, we used to have a situation wherein you create an express entry profile by selecting the right NOC code and obviously all the other things, and then you just wait for an invitation to apply, and one day you receive an invitation to apply and then you apply for a PR. But the situation has changed quite a lot during pandemic and after pandemic. So in the post pandemic era, we really do not have the luxury of just creating an express entry profile and just sitting idle. We really have to take a lot of steps, and most importantly, all these steps, in my opinion, should work in tandem with each other to be able to really work, to be able to really reduce the processing time for you in some ways or the other, right? So first and foremost, obviously, create an express entry profile. Make sure everything is done properly so that there is no confusion at the later stage. For example, while choosing the NOC's code, I see a lot of clients constantly changing their NOCs from time to time, right? It may be 1221 now, it may be 1222 later, and then some NOCs at some other stage. Really do not do that. If you can choose the right NOC code from the very beginning and you do not absolutely change it, that gives a good impression, because the more you change it, the more it flags on your profile when an officer reviews it in some ways or the other, right? So try to have the concrete NOC code from the very beginning and fix to that. Do not change it. That's step number one, maybe. And obviously make sure that all the other application criteria are being properly met, all the JDs are being properly filled out, the application is complete, the express entry profile is complete, so to say, right? Once you're done with that, look for PNPs. There are many PNPs that are active as of right now, and it may be a good idea to keep on applying on those PNPs to the extent possible without applying to the province of Quebec. Do not touch the Quebec. Why? I'll make a separate video on this. But even if you are a native French speaker, it may be a good idea to not to touch upon Quebec altogether. If French is your first language, if you are a proficient French speaker, there are many other PNPs to talk about except Quebec. So do not touch upon Quebec, applying on all the other PNPs which you think you qualify. That's step number two. Step number three is to create a good LinkedIn profile with a professional looking photograph, all the good words and everything about you, crisp, neat, professional LinkedIn profile, create a good Canadian CV, and then try to apply for those job offers, particularly for the Atlantic provinces, Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, PEI, or maybe Newfoundland, Labrador. Why not, right? Because under those provinces, you do not need an LMIA. If an employer sends you a job offer, the employer doesn't have to go through the LMIA process. You can directly apply for your permanent residency based on that job offer. So on the one hand, you have your express entry profile and you are looking for non-job offer based PNPs. On the other hand, through LinkedIn, you're approaching the local Canadian employers to see if somebody would be interested to give you a job offer under Atlantic Immigration Program. So both this can work and should work in tandem with each other to reduce the processing time. Now, if you are a little bit more proactive, right, while your express entry, while you still have a couple of PNP applications, while you still have your express entry profile active, you can apply for a visitor visa. Now, regardless of which country you are applying it from, the processing time is high these days. If you are applying from India, it is easily going to take 3 to 4 months and more time than that in most cases, right? If you're applying from Middle East, 3 to 3.5 months easily. From Southeast Asia, again 2 months quite easily. The point is, visitor visa applications are taking time. The processing is quite long these days. So it may be worthwhile to apply for a visitor visa. Again, dual intention visitor visa. It does not really impact with your express entry profile or anything else, right? And if you're even more proactive and want to do things really sooner, a study visa could probably be for you. Again, this could work in tandem with your visitor visa. This could work in tandem with your PNP applications or your express entry profile. Many people have this confusion, is that my study permit will be refused because I have an express entry profile, or that I have made some PNP applications. No. Your study permit is your temporary intent to come into Canada. Your visitor visa is also your temporary intent to come into Canada. And those two things or three things have nothing to do with your permanent intent to Canada if you're able to justify your reasons accordingly. So the whole point of this video is that creating an express entry profile and sitting idle, waiting for some days to get an invitation, unless and until you are maybe 490 plus CRS, unless and until you maybe 500 plus CRS, right? is not a luxury for you. All those things need to be done in tandem with each other to be able to reduce the processing time, and most importantly, to be able to work. If you need my professional assistance, drop me a line, book a consultation, send me an email at contact@nuvonation.ca. Shall be glad to consult and to be able to review what really works best for you. Hope this helps. See you guys in the next one. Bye now.